We can check out some exorcism, but actually, first of all, has anyone been doing anything with Python or anything they wanted to share before we go start doing some Python coding?
Not really. I've got a Django app that I have been working on for quite a while that has not gone very far. And I did a little bit of rearranging it and reorganizing it and ended up breaking it in the process. So
Uh-oh.
I walked away and we'll take another look in a couple of days, see if we can fix it.
Sounds
I'm
good.
I'm always a great believer in the concept of sleeping on ideas. Like I said before, a break is a healthy thing, but also literally sleeping is a because we still don't understand how the human brain actually what it does. But big part of it is actually dissecting an idea that your subconscious mind has sucked in and breaking it during your sleep, and then when you wake up you actually look at that problem with a crystal clear view. So maybe you break your application now, but in a couple of days you will have a totally new look at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I've had the same experience where just walking away, taking a break, sleeping on it, letting it percolate in the back of my head
Uh-huh.
helps me to be able to view it more clearly and come back and be productive.
Totally.
Yeah, I found that too. Between that and rubber ducking, handles a lot of the cases where I get just completely stuck and frustrated. Not all of them, but
I'm sorry, rubber ducking.
just so if you have a problem, uh, did you want to take this, Derek?
There's a story, and I'm looking up the reference now, about a junior engineer who was trying to solve a problem and he kept going to his supervisor and asking for help. And the supervisor got annoyed by this and finally just handed him a rubber duck like off the shelf and was like, explain the problem to the rubber duck. If when you're done explaining it to the rubber duck, if you still don't know the answer, then come talk to me. And there's something about trying to think about a problem and formulate it in terms where you can actually explain it to someone else
Uh-huh.
that you see the hole in what you've done and you're able to
Okay.
fix the problem.
Yeah, yeah. It totally makes sense.
And I've had those moments too, where I'll be completely frustrated. Someone will come over and say, "What's going on?" And I'll explain it to them, and in explaining it, I'll be like, "Oh, I know what the problem is."
Like try to explain it to a 6-year-old or to a 5-year-old, and
Yep, exactly. So Mo, you've been um, doing any Python recently, or are you just getting back into things for the new year?
yeah, I've been getting back into things mostly in Ruby, unfortunately. Uh, I mean, it's fortunate for Ruby, of course, and for me, but unfortunately for my other Ruby Python friends, because uh, my job actually has to do a lot with Ruby, mostly, and Rails.
Cool. That's fine. You're more than welcome to go explore Ruby. As long as you come back to Python every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Python is kind of like, in a sense, it's like my mistress, where I just leave it for a couple of months, but I have to come back. I know that's a bad example, but
This week I haven't been doing Python this week. Although I did use something that I learned in Python. So I've been playing with Clojure and Ruby this week on Exorcism, and I solved a what was it? It was comparing two lists of characters to each other, and I used the zip function to run along both of those at the same time, because that was a function that I learned in Python, and I found it over there and used it there. So that was something I learned in Python that I was using in another language,
yeah.
but I haven't really done much Python this past week. I was doing Ruby and Clojure, as I said.
Which language had zip that you were able to use it?
Clojure had zip. Or no, I'm
Nice.
sorry. Ruby had zip. I'm
Okay.
getting them confused. Ruby had zip. Although, looking at other people's examples, most people used each with index, which is more like enumerate in Python,
Okay.
to follow along the two character strings in unison.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I think zip is probably a cleaner way to do it if you're looking for just the individual elements of each list. But I think enumerate is a reasonable runner-up.
Yeah, I think it makes sense too. As far as like the idiomatic way to do it in a language, I think I've seen each with index more often in Ruby, but I would agree that zip makes sense because zip is doing exactly that. It is taking two arrays or lists and then just moving along, comparing each element at the same position.
Yeah, unless you're actually going to use that index for something other than accessing another array, enumerate just doesn't feel like it's the right answer.
Yeah, I would agree. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Glad you were able to join us tonight. Hey, I think I heard you. Maybe I didn't. Hey, Shane, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Been a little busy. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Yeah, we were just talking about the things we've been doing in Python. It's a new year. I think everyone's been busy so far this year, but people are coming back.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I've not been doing any Python, but I'm trying to just figure out how I'm going to get it back in my schedule.
Well, you did the right thing. You showed up tonight. That gets it back in your schedule.
That's it.
Right on. Looks like Steve's having some mic issues. Hope you get those sorted out. Well, I think we were going to try out some exorcism exercises. I don't know if you've used exorcism before. It's a really cool site where there's coding problems and you can go try them out, and it's almost like a test-driven development style where it gives you tests and you write out the code to pass the tests, and then you kind of follow it along each step of the way. It's here, I can post a link to it here. So they have a bunch of languages. I think it started out as a Ruby site, but they have a number of languages available, including Python. So I'm going to try to get that started up. Let me start a screen share too. Okay. So back up to Python. As you can see, I was doing Ruby on exorcism. Don't tell anyone.
Only the people who are going to be watching this.
Which are probably interested in Python. Okay, so to get the next exercise, it's exorcism fetch Python. And Hamming. Oh, this is the one. This is the where we're talking about zip and comparing the two strings.
Okay.
That was this, but I was doing it in Ruby rather than in Python. So now we get a chance to try it in Python.
Cool.
Nice. So generally when you go into these, there's going to be a README and a test file. Let me see. Hold on. I could probably make my font a bit bigger. There we go. Okay. says write a program that can calculate the Hamming difference between two DNA strands. A mutation is simply a mistake that occurs during the creation or copying of a nucleic acid in particular DNA. There's a big long explanation right here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. The basic idea, I think, if you scroll down, you have the different nucleic acids in the two DNA strands. This is one of the strands here. This is another strand here.
Hmm.
And you can compare them at each position and see if they are different, like this first one where it's G and C, or if they're the same, like this one, the second position here, where it's A and A. And what this exercise is doing is comparing these two strings and counting the number of positions where they're different. So if they're the same, we don't count it, but if they're different, we do count it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called the Hamming distance between the two strands. And yeah, that's basically what you need to know for this exercise. So go ahead and run the test. Hamming test. No module named Hamming. So that's going to be easy enough to fix. All right. Good. Oh, and I'm trying out Tmux tonight. It lets me do multiple windows.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to point out that I like you even more now that you're using Tmux.
Thank you. I'm just starting to read the book, but I figured out that I can use multiple windows and switch back between them. I can have my tests run in one window and keep Vim open in the other one.
Yeah, and it's so awesome that you can literally turn your terminal into your own personal IDE.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't really played with the panes yet. I do like that you can keep, so I can exit out of the session, but then come back into it and still have everything where I left it, which is also pretty cool.
Exactly. And I mean, I know you, I don't want to cut you off, but the most important feature of Tmux is that when you SSH into another server, usually we SSH, and then after you SSH, just exit from the server. And in the old times, if you're not using terminal multiplexer like Screen or Tmux, then when you exit from the SSH session, you're actually closing the process and that you were running on. Let's say you were running
like a long-running process of some kind.
Yeah. Once you exit from the session, you will terminate that process. But Tmux is actually a server client, so whenever you exit the client, the server keeps running, and the processes running within the server will keep running. So that's the cool thing about it.
That's handy. So if I'm doing an upgrade and I get cut off, it would stop unless I'm using something like Tmux where it would continue.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good to know. I think there's also some screen sharing features in it where
not in the literal term screen share, more like terminal sharing, where you can pair program with others by sharing your Tmux session. So because it's a server client, so right now your terminal is the client Tmux to the server process Tmux running in the background. Okay. So if I have your IP address, I can SSH now to yours to your server to your computer and actually run Tmux as a client from my PC and share the terminal, so both of us will be typing into the same terminal.
That's pretty handy.
Yeah, especially in pair programming, it's really cool.
Nice. I can't wait till I figure out how to do that part. That would be pretty fun. All right, so we created our our test here. Thanks for that information, by the way, Mo.
No problem.
I'm even more interested to learn it now. Okay. Oh, and I did find that I can't scroll in Tmux, so I need to use less. Oh, that's not doing anything.
Yeah, so I love Tmux to the point where actually I configured it so I can use even mouse scrolls to scroll, and
Oh,
yeah, I can point you to my dot files. Let me get a link to that.
okay. Yeah, that'll be good. I wonder why less isn't working. Well, I guess we'll take one of these. One of these lower ones here. So there's going to be. Let's take a look at the test real quick. So Hamming is going to be the name of the module, and it's going to have a function distance,
which is going to take 2 arguments.
which is going to take 2 arguments. Okay. Any preference on the name of those arguments? It's going to be string 1, string 2, sequence 1, sequence 2, nucleotide chain. I
X
don't
and
know.
Y.
X and Y. All right, we can try X. We can do X and Y. Just do it for now. So it's expecting a 1 or a 0 rather than none. So let's give it a 1 and see what happens. There we go. So Hamming distance A and A should not be 1. It should be 0. And that makes sense because this string is the same as this string, right?
Right.
Okay. So how do we want to approach this? Just to solve for A equals A. Maybe if X equals Y, return.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Okay.
Can we, because it's a little bit confusing, the output, can we comment out all the tests and just uncomment the ones we are testing for right now?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me see if I don't understand that. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and there's a so Python test. So unit test skip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll try that. Do I need parentheses there if I'm not passing anything? And we'll just do this.
I think Python is a little bit um, um, strict with the parentheses here.
Okay, that would make sense.
My guess would be that no, you do not want parentheses there. But I'm not 100% sure about that.
All right, so you want to just try it like that?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Let's see. We've got an error. Okay, that works. So let's there. Oh, those two work. So let's go to the next one. Now we got an error that makes sense. Okay, so we got two strands. One is AG and one is CT.
Yeah.
It's expecting 2, but it's getting 1.
1. Okay. So how are we running the distance here? Are we? Yeah, so X and Y, each of them is actually an entire string.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's a zip function also in Python, if I'm not mistaken.
I would agree.
Yeah, there is.
To work on strings?
Is this a Python 2 or Python 3?
This is Python 2, and it looks like it does work on strings. Okay, so then we will want to zip, right? We want to try that out. X, Y.
I would probably do that as part of a for loop.
Okay, so for
Z is a great, yeah.
You're going to need another letter in there too. So maybe Z and W.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
No, we don't want it like that, do we? How do we want to do this?
No. You're going to want, before you get into the for loop, you're going to want initialize some sort of accumulator to 0. And then if Z doesn't equal W, accumulate plus equals 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then return accumulate.
So this will also cater for the case if actually X and Y are empty empty strings.
Mhm.
So it will also be true.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, it will.
But let me just understand one thing here. So ZW, so we're zipping two strings into an array of pairs, right?
Like this here.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then Z will be F in the first iteration. Z will be F and B will be W.
Correct.
Okay.
So let me just try something. Zip. Sounds good. Let's give that test a shot. There we go. Looks like it all passed.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Try. So let's give that a shot. Yeah, there we go.
So what happens if let's say the two strings are not of the same size?
Well, let's try it out. What I think is going to happen in zip is that you're going to get nil for, or either nil or quote quote, but we'll find out. So what, A, B, C, D, and A, B, E, like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, it cuts off at
yeah.
the shortest.
Well, you don't know that because the way we've done it, like just zip those two strings.
Yep.
It does just cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to the problem itself, it does not describe this case.
I think it mentions it. Yeah. So the Hamming distance is only defined for sequences of equal length.
Mhm.
This means that based on the definition, each language could deal with getting sequences of equal length differently. So in this case, it is basically ignoring the excess. Did we want to do something different? Like throw an error or something? Or are we good with the way that it's implemented?
Yeah, you're correct. According to the description, we should throw an error that they're not of the same size. Maybe because biologically speaking, maybe I'm not sure what I don't understand how DNA works, but maybe scientifically speaking, this is like comparing human DNA to insect DNA, where like humans are longer.
That makes sense. So what is it? Throw?
Yeah, I think so.
What kind of an arrow do we want to throw?
Strands not equal, strands length, not DNA strand length. I'm not really good at naming stuff.
Is there an argument error in here? Argument? Value error, I think it is. There we go.
Mhm.
Strands.
Is that a mutation error?
Yeah, I think it is a mutation error. Oh, I did something wrong. Invalid syntax.
There is a value error.
It should accept a description, right? No, no, not that. Let's take a look.
It's raise, not throw.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All that Clojure/Ruby/Python, all the syntaxes just...
That's right. That's right. Okay, there we go. And if we go
Nice.
here, and say import Hamming distance. There we go.
Nice.
Cool. So let's go. Oh, if you haven't done exorcism before, you can do now, which is one of the cool parts about this. So if you say exorcism, submit, we'll send that up to exorcism. And
Okay, this is the link to your submission. And does it does it show you the result immediately?
you can go here, and then these will show up in other people's. So you can go here and you can see exercises, I think it is. And you can see what I just submitted and what other people have submitted. And you can review other solutions, and other people can comment on your solution to give you constructive criticism.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And you can submit in multiple iterations. Like if you get a comment or you learn something new, you can submit a new iteration that incorporates that new solution. So like if we went back and decided to try to use a reduce or something instead of this accumulator method, we could do that and then submit another one, and that would show up in a different tab here. And then when you're ready to get your next one, exorcism, fetch, and the language. And you get word count. Didn't we do word count? Maybe not.
You did that in the Clojure hangout with Jonathan.
Okay. Thought it sounded familiar. So, this one, write a program that, given a phrase, can count the occurrences of each word in that phrase. For example, for the input ollie ollie income free, you would get, I guess, a map, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And the keys to the map are the words, and then the values to those keys are the number of occurrences. I think in Python, this shouldn't be too bad.
No, this should be real easy.
This is really easy until you start thinking about performance issue and optimization. Then it becomes relatively more difficult.
Yeah, I can see where it could.
Yeah. Because if you want to fetch a word from let's say a long text, and then for each word you're gonna compare that word with the entire text again, so this can be exponential. Worse even, this can be O to N to N to N. Yeah, this can be Uh,
Well, I agree with you, but even taking that into account, Python has a dict variable type built right in, and so you move that to your lookups to be 01, and this is relatively fast right out of the gate.
And is there some way you could cache your map so that when you search multiple words? I don't know. We don't have to worry about that immediately, but maybe that would be an interesting exercise to do when we're done. All right, so let's try running the tests. Word. No module named word count. From word count, import word count. So we need to. Oh, you know what? Word count. I want this to. Oh, oops.
You can do something really cool right now, Jamal.
Yeah, what's that?
If you control, let me see, Control A, double quotes. So press Control A at the same time, and then afterwards, immediately double quotes. Did you configure T-Box at all?
Oh, you know what? I think it's Control B, double quote.
Yes, Control B, exactly. And now Control B, and then what? Control B, capital
Percent?
J.
A capital J. That doesn't seem to do anything.
Control B, or sorry, maybe Control B J.
Control B J. No, it's not doing anything.
Let me try that because it's ingrained in my muscle memory. Oh no, it's capital J actually. Control B capital J will actually move the lower pane down. Does it make sense?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So my point is you can actually write your code in the upper pane and execute your tests in the lower pane.
Oh, nice. Let's try it like this. I think there's also. Yeah, there.
Yeah, this is really cool.
All right, we'll try that, and then I'll get used to going. I think it's arrow. Yeah, Control B arrow to go back and forth. All right, yeah, we'll give that a shot. So this will be our Vim window. That way we can see them both at the same time.
Cool.
Oh, because I still have. I want to exit out of this. And we'll exit that window. There we go. Control V. Okay. We want to comment some of these so we can see or suppress some of these, right? So Vim word count test. This was unit test dot skip it. Say JavaScript.
What? You don't want to use Python to parse JavaScript?
Don't know. I don't know.
And even Russian.
Yeah. There we go. So word count takes an argument. Walk mode. There we go. Okay, so what do we want to call our argument? Sentence, maybe?
That sounds good.
Hmm.
Okay. It wants it to return 1. Stop. Oh, it wants it to return a map.
Yeah, dictionary.
Oh yeah, dict. Huh, you're right. It's not a map in Python. Okay, so how do we want to make it do that?
Okay, so
Maybe.
Well, I'm always a fan of default dict. So I would start by from collections import default dict. No, one word, no underscore.
so what's the difference here?
What do you mean, what's the difference between a dict and a default dict?
Yeah.
Default dict will, if the key doesn't exist, you'll provide it a way to initialize it.
Okay. So how do you create one of those?
So let's call it, we need a name for our answer. How about result equals default dict, open paren, int, close paren?
Well,
Yeah. And then I would do for word in sentence.split. Am I getting the syntax of that right?
Yeah, I think you're right here.
Okay.
Yeah, and
is
then
it just that? Okay, yeah, we'll try that.
Result
with
open
the
paren, I
keyword.
think, or open bracket. I'm not sure which.
Yeah,
Which should I try?
open bracket.
Okay, we'll try bracket.
Word close bracket plus equals 1,
Yeah,
and then return result.
but then the default should be 0 in this case, right? And the
I don't. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah, let's see.
It worked. So I guess int is telling it the type.
Yeah, and it returns the default int, which is 0.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, cool.
Nice. All right. Let's start on commenting these.
I think we've got it.
I think we do too. So we'll try uncommenting. It's trying to throw some stuff at us like tabs.
Yeah, and Russian words and
Might have a problem with that
So-
split. We might need to convert to regex, but we'll see. Yeah, we still got 4 failures.
Do we care if any of the letters are capitalized or not?
Oh, that's a good question.
I did it because I did a tutorial, a Python tutorial with something similar to this before, and they used like where you got sentence dot split, they would use sentence dot lower dot split to make everything lowercase.
All right, yeah, we'll give that a shot. Second, let's see. We want to write that here. You said sentence dot lower dot
Yeah,
split.
that's
Okay. Let's see if that reduces our failures from 4. Oh, it didn't like dot lower dot split. But I think you're on the right track. Maybe it's dot lower with dot. We
yeah.
actually need to call the function. That was my typo then, if that's the case. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So now we're down to 2. We're skipping 1. Let's see what this one is. In test preserves punctuation.
Yeah, that was my next question too. Is they did something where it took out all the punctuation in that tutorial too.
Yeah.
Car. Oh, yeah, here.
No, it's actually
Car.
counting the punctuation.
Car, as, JavaScript. Oh, we wanted to remove the punctuation because we've got JavaScript here, but the other one is not counting JavaScript.
Mm-hmm. So do we actually count the punctuation?
No, it wants to remove.
Mm-hmm.
So how they did that was I just looked back because I made some notes while I was doing that tutorial.
Okay.
They made symbols equal and put a whole bunch of symbols in there. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
All right, I'll grab it out of there.
And you filter them using what? Regex? You can actually filter them. Yeah, using
You could
regex.
use regex. I think this one's using something. Oh, so were you doing like a replace on symbols or something?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you need to actually use single quotations around these because actually
That should
no,
work.
because there is also single quotations and double.
The doubles escaped though. I
Yeah.
think it'll work.
So, but there's a double underneath. Oh, okay, I see.
I think it's just continuing the line.
Yes,
because
I
it's
see.
smaller.
Yes.
Okay.
think- Isn't there something in string for defining punctuation to remove it?
Yes, we found that last week, I think. Let's import string. Punctuation. There it is.
So
That's-
going to like
that's
an
probably
include
better.
or something?
Okay, so how do we remove characters from a string?
They give you call it in a regex.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to import regular expressions then?
Yep.
And then re dot
Sub.
What's up, guys?
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Oh, good.
We are just looking to remove some punctuation from a string.
How would you go about that?
That is an excellent question. I'm glad you asked.
Why we're here.
You're trying to remove it, right?
Yeah.
Sounds
So
like fun.
so you substitute this string dot punctuations with an empty string.
Yeah. It's slow. There we go. That's not so helpful. Let's try looking at the read the docs.
What have you tried already?
Nothing. We're trying to figure out the syntax.
I just put something in the chat, but it had this. You have to put this in within the for loop.
Oh, okay, cool. So word equals word. Yes. So
I think yeah, regular expression dot sub does do that. It's substituting whatever you want with whatever you want.
this doesn't require.
It was in a for loop, though, I think, because you have to go through each word.
Okay. We'll try it inside and I don't know that it needs to be in the for loop, but we'll try it in there.
Okay.
And then we can try it outside.
Okay.
So here it would be word equals word dot replace string punctuation. Wrong. Replace takes at least 2 arguments.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we need to specify what we're going to replace it with.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Replace it with an empty string.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you stop seeing my screen?
We see you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we did.
That's weird. Yeah, I saw my little camera light come on. I was like, huh? That didn't work. I thought it would. Maybe... No, not that one. Python string. Old, new. Oh, but it's looking for that entire string, isn't it? It's not looking for each character in any of the
Actually,
characters.
replace the strings in Python are immutable.
Mm-hmm.
So replace is actually creating a new string out of the sentence.
But then we're assigning that new string to the same variable. You mean we should make this something else?
I think we should do this with the sentence, not the word. We should keep this for loop as is, and before entering this for loop, we should take care of removing all the punctuation from the sentence.
So like
Yeah.
this.
And I think regular expression is perfect for this.
Okay, we'll give the regular expression a try. What's my syntax?
Regular expression dot sub. And it's sub, and then we'll put string dot punctuation. Replace it with an empty string, and also pass a third argument, the sentence itself. And here is what I actually found. I'll share the link to the Stack Overflow.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll give that a shot. Invalid expression error. Is it because we're not?
Is it punctuation or punctuations?
Punctuation, but I don't think that's a valid regular expression string. Wouldn't we want something like
an array, maybe? And yeah, when no,
want something like is it not A to Z space plus?
It takes a string actually.
But it should be like a regular expression string, not just a series of characters, right?
No, a series of characters.
Oh. Well, let's try this.
Let's try this as well. So
that didn't work. Okay, so let's just take let's throw some random characters in there like that. Let's see if that's what we expect.
string, so expression dot sub.
It's not removing the characters. I think we need a regular expression here that's going to describe punctuation.
Punctuation.
Here's a Stack Overflow article that might help.
Okay, cool. Let's give it a shot.
It looks like they're creating a separate list and then going through a for loop for actually.
They're using maketrans. Oh wait, no, here.
Yeah.
So they're creating a set.
Mm-hmm.
it looks like. Or is that old? Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll try that. So character for character in string if character is not in the exclude string. Yeah, I like that.
And by the way, Chris, I love the bonsai tree.
Thank you. I think I picked that up off of Google.
It's really, you mean the picture or the real thing?
No, the graphic little picture. I think it's one of the default icons in Google when you define your identity.
Yeah, I see. It's a fact is the bonsai tree is really, really expensive, and it only grows in Japan, and it comes in small and big shapes. The smaller ones, the one as big as your coffee mug, costs something around $600.
So you can actually create bonsai from a number of different plants, and you don't have to be exclusive to Japan. I live in Chicago, and we have a botanical gardens that has quite the collection of bonsai, and they use a number of different types of trees that will spread and grow that can be trainable.
Interesting. And I mean, like it's a bonsai tree?
hmm If you think of bonsai being more than just a specific type of tree, as more of a way of trimming the tree and getting it to grow.
I thought of it as like a Japanese plant that it does grow in that shape naturally,
No,
organic.
they train it. So
No,
there's a
trim.
lot of snipping and a lot of wire involved. They
Oh,
don't grow
wow.
that way naturally.
That worked.
Cool.
We still got one skip and one fail. So what is going on here? Hey, my spacebar is broken.
Your space bar?
Oh, underscores. It wants to. Hey, comma, my space. Oh.
So there's missing spaces. Actually, I would have thought that comma would have been taken out with the punctuation.
Yeah, that is what's happening. They wanted to replace punctuation with a space rather than
Okay.
a quote, it looks like.
Or lack of. I thought we was using. Didn't we use a empty string?
Right now, it's just removing all punctuation.
Right.
But we want to actually replace the punctuation. Okay, so we can do... This is interesting. So do we want to create another function then that's going to do this exclusion, and then when we do our comprehension?
I don't understand why it's difficult to remove punctuation or remove like characters from any string of words.
Well,
Sure,
we
there's
did, but we remove the spaces that's breaking up the words, right?
Yeah, it's using punctuation as spaces in this case.
Yeah.
And when we remove it, we end up with, hey, my space bar is broken, rather than the word separated.
Can we put something in there that looks for an underscore or a comma without a, or it'd need a space? We're back to regex again.
Yeah, we're either back to regex or we do some other function here instead of this if.
Yeah, so maybe we can replace them with a space. So for each punctuation, put a space in its place, and then we can trim all spaces, all extra spaces at the end.
I think that makes sense. We just need to reword but this implementation is not going to do that for us. So we could, I think. Let's see. Do
The thing, I'm going back to the bonsai tree thing, is I thought it was I used to live in Japan, and I don't know. You just gave me information right now that it's not specific to Japan, and you can actually bend it and grow it to the shape you want. But I just figured out that maybe it's too much of a Japanese pride that they always attribute bonsai to them, and I remember the lady actually telling me that it's exclusive to Japan and it's natural. So, yeah.
I've never seen a natural bonsai, but that's fine.
It's a thing about Japanese pride, I think, and I've noticed it more than once before. Even when I went to one of the electronic shops and I tried to buy a headphone, and I really like this American brand, the Marshall, called Marshall brand. And then the Japanese saleswoman there, she was like, the Sony. And I'm like, yeah, Sony is cool, but I still want the Marshall. And she actually got really mad. And for no reason at the end, because she's trying to promote everything Japanese rather than anything.
I'm surprised you even found a U.S. brand in a Japanese store in Japan.
Yeah, actually, like Marshall I think they have a huge store in one of the major. It's called Shibuya there. It's like a major.
It's a big electronics area in Tokyo. I've been there once.
Yeah.
All right, I got it working. I don't know if it's the most efficient solution. I'm pretty sure it's not.
There's always more than one way, right?
So how did you get it working?
All right, so what I did, is so before it was excluding it from the sequence, if it was one of these excluded characters, but now I'm going through every character in the sequence and calling this subspace function, which basically, if it is an excluded character, it returns string. If it's not, it just returns the character.
Cool.
Good.
So rather than removing, it's essentially doing what we said. Instead of removing them, it is replacing them. Yeah, exactly. And I don't love the fact that we're going through it twice. I feel there's probably a better way, but
yeah, I feel there's a more simplistic way to doing this, but it's just a matter of reading the docs.
We still got a problem. It's the Russian one.
Unicode?
It sees, this character right there is a space or something.
Yeah.
Because it's expecting there to be two different words, but there's only one word. Or no, these characters are even totally different. It is Unicode. It's because we're in Python 2, huh? I wonder.
I used for Python 3?
I wonder. So let's try Python 3 on this. So it's not that. What is it trying to do? Python 3 word count. It looks totally different in Python 3 because those are Unicode. Yeah, it's splitting on this character here.
Yeah. So it's what it's
What is that? A 1. Unicode 1. How do...
So 1F596, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's that whole thing, right?
Yeah. I think I'm not really sure about this, but there's like include statement or something that you can import at the beginning of your code, and it will take care of all these Unicode.
Well,
It should
using Python 3, it is handling that. It's just that our implementation is only looking at ASCII punctuation.
Right.
And this is some sort of Russian punctuation.
Yeah, right.
I
So
don't.
Are we looking for some type of a parse module for Unicode?
So, can we view the same problem? Like, I want to see the real representation of this character on the browser.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
What is it?
Let's go see if we can find a solution. We haven't submitted a solution, so we can't see a solution. Well, maybe if we should be able to see the tests. So, Python. This is the word count one. I don't see it here. Maybe if I go to my profile.
Yeah, that's Clojure.
Languages? I think you can see the tests here, and maybe if we view it in the web browser, we can see what character that is. Available exercises, word count. Test suite. There it is. Oh, in the browser it's still that, whatever that is.
That square Russian character.
Wonder where that decode if needed is.
Yeah, this is the statement I was talking about at line number 1, but this is obviously Python 2.
This is Python 2. So I think we could probably steal this from the test. Right? At least we'll be able to run it in Python 2. No, not that. No. No. Ew, that's ugly. any better? That's the same thing. I don't know if that helped at all. So I think I now understand why Python 3 does Unicode by default. So any thoughts on how to tackle this, or maybe this is something to take home and think about over the week?
Do another search, see if I can come up with anything.
No.
So why is it splitting by that character? This is the question.
Apparently it's some kind of punctuation that it expects to be able to split on. So how about this? Instead of splitting on punctuation, why don't we split on not a letter or a space?
Characters?
Yeah, but then we've got these characters to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Just as a quick test, why don't you switch off the punctuation replacing function and skip all tests except this one? Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see what's going. Is it going to split? What's the splitting factor? Or is it even gonna split at all?
So you mean everything but that one, and remove our code that is replacing punctuation, and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Seems like a worthwhile thing to test. So let's test. Like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Global name words. Oh, I got a syntax error. Because I didn't change that. No, it's still not splitting on it. Is there a Unicode set of punctuation somewhere?
But you see, this time it's splitting on a different.
It's not splitting at all. It's the same thing. It's not splitting it.
It's taking everything as just one.
And it wants it to split it. So maybe if we can find a Unicode implementation of that punctuation, that would help.
Yeah, maybe. But then it's not the perfect way. You see, we're splitting by just one special case character.
Yeah.
About looking specific for any type form of Unicode punctuation?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just don't know what is Unicode punctuation.
I'm assuming any punctuation that's could be exhibited in Unicode, but I don't know. I'm a little outside
Maybe other languages have special punctuation also.
So it looks like this, whatever that is. What is that?
Yeah. It's like
What is that?
some Russian weird stuff.
Starts with P. Oh, general category. So P stands for punctuation. Huh. All right. So let's try this. Import Unicode data. This is exactly what we're looking for, I think.
Yeah.
And then here, instead of set this, we want this. And Unicode category of that. Okay. Good deal. I just totally messed that up. There's a square bracket there. There, and let's bring this back. There. If Unicode data category of X. Must be Unicode, not a string. So because we're this is, I bet this works in Python 3. No. Still doesn't know what it is. I don't know.
My second link here, is that the same as what you were looking at on Stack Overflow?
Yeah, let's take a look. Yes.
Because this section in the middle here looked like it was similar to what we had before, but they've added the unicharacter starts with P.
Oh yeah, here. Text.translate. Okay. Dictionary.
So
I'm not sure.
translate is similar to replace.
Mm-hmm. I think he's creating a table that's got the Unicode characters in it, starting with anything that matches a punctuation, and he's doing a replace based off of that.
Yeah.
Although it's not really a replace, and I'm not sure how the translate works. I've not seen that before.
Here's regular expressions like we were looking at before too. That looks like a cleaner implementation.
Yeah. That's what I like. I was pointing out that there's definitely a cleaner way.
Let's give that a shot. Do expression and then
But then the punctuation in this case, is it catered for in this case?
We want to replace it with quote. Why is it going back over there? There we go. So I think this is punctuation. This is Unicode punctuation. That's what that is. Wait, regex mod? Is regex different from RE? No.
Maybe a different implementation of regex.
Module name regex. Yeah, looks like it is a different implementation of regex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't sudo it.
Yeah, sudo, yeah.
Okay, so that still didn't work.
Hmm.
A much shorter implementation. It just isn't working.
Mm-hmm. Should it be on sentence or word?
I think it might work better if it's in the loop.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Wait, we want it out. We want to be able to split on it though. We have to have it
Yeah.
outside.
Okay, but word count sentence. Do we want to have words equal sentence? Looking for that? Down, right in there, up above.
So
It's
it's
sentence, right?
Yeah.
they were starting with sentence, and then presumably, if this is actually removed, it would assign that sentence with the spaces instead of punctuation to words.
Can you print out words before the for loop?
Good idea. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Why does this work? There it is.
So this is it? This is the... Yeah, the dreaded one, F596.
Whatever that thing is.
We're pulling it correctly.
Yeah. We're just not replacing it. Where is my? There it is. We. So I'm assuming that's Unicode, regex,
Replace maybe?
replace. I don't know. What if we remove some of this extra stuff? Because I key thing is what means punctuation, though I could be totally wrong. Add fuzzy constraint at position 2. Oh.
So maybe you can use. I'm not sure. M- Yeah, I think maybe you can use the decode function. Just. Yeah.
If you, yeah, don't. It could. Yeah, that might. But I think this is doing the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Match all punctuation and then check.
Yeah, that's match all punctuation. This is not all punctuation because it's capitalized. There's
It's
an
Greek
example.
punctuation.
It's Greek punctuation?
That's what I'm seeing here.
Huh. That's a pretty rough test to put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is exactly why they call it exorcism.
Yeah, exactly. So,
This is like a special case of a special case.
so it is matching some of the punctuation.
Yeah, but it's not seeing the Greek punctuation because I think by the time it's running that line of code, it's not actually the sentence is not or that special character is not decoded as UTF-8.
Yeah,
So
that could be. That could be. So you want to put.
like to decode the sentence string just before we substitute. So if we go sentence equals decode equals sentence dot decode UTF-8.
The -8.
Yes.
So like that.
I think.
ASCII
No.
codec can't encode positions.
Oh yeah, so we need to drop that. So there is a rule. Whenever the encoder cannot encode, you should specify whether to raise an error or to drop that character. In this case, we should drop it, but then I'm not sure about the syntax. Let me check that out.
It's decode. Let's see. Unicode. So there's a Unicode function? Oh, but it's already in Unicode. We want to decode it from Unicode. Errors. Errors. Replace. Can we replace it with a space? Oh no, that's Unicode. That's going the other direction still. Where's decode?
Maybe I'm getting confused because it's either decode or encode. So,
Yeah, it could be an encode. Huh.
yeah, try to encode. Where is? Let me find you. Yeah, encode to ASCII, and then the second parameter should be ignore. So anything that's not encoded as ASCII should be ignored or dropped.
Huh?
I think in quotations. Yeah, sure. Yeah, in quotations. Unicode decoder, ASCII code, it cannot decode a byte in position 0. Ordinal, not in range. Oh. So try UTF-8. But UTF-8...
Still doesn't like it.
Decode.
What? Hold on.
The thing I have the issue with exorcism, when they get to this point, they don't really give you any help in trying to solve it.
Yeah.
What if we try this in 3? Syntax error. Oh, maybe we don't need to specify. I don't know. Why is that a syntax error? We don't need stuff.
We just need the R in this case. Let's try it anyway.
R. Muzzle. Oh, quit. Pip 3. Install. Oh wait. Sudo. Pip 3. Okay, how about sudo python 3 -m pip install regex. Console pip. Make virtual and -p. etc. 3.
Permission denied.
Why won't it let me make a virtual environment? That's strange. Let's try it just on a regular. So
Yeah, could be because of Tmux, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Try anything at this point. Make virtual environment. Python 3. That's strange. Permission denied.
So which Python 3?
It should be the default one for the system, which is 3.4.
Is it located at the etc folder? User bin.
Oh, yeah, you are absolutely correct. I had the wrong location. Okay, so now if I pip install regex, it should be under Python 3 because we're in our Python 3 environment.
Nice.
Okay, so it's installed. And now if I just say Python word test failed.
Okay. No, still.
I don't know.
Man, I hate exorcism.
This is rough.
Yeah, this is...
I guess we could... I don't know. I think I probably want to go look into it and come back.
Yeah, I think we need to sleep on it.
Sleep on it, like we were saying at the beginning.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There we go. That was a tough exercise.
Yeah, but really a nice one as well.
It was.
And we failed just at the last test, right? That was the last one.
Yeah, that was the last one. Let me go ahead and put the code out so you guys can get to it if you want to look at it. So xclip. All right, and I think I can probably shut down the recording. So good night all. Have a good one that are watching the recording, and I will